Hello, my name is Cristiana, and I gave up architecture for my dream to be a rally driver. At a glance, my life in the last few years was something like that, as you will see. I will never get better than this. I will never race like that.
You will never be a real rally driver.
Are you serious? Follow me. Okay, so I know some of you may be thinking, what's wrong with this girl? How did she end up in a race car? Well, as all beautiful stories begin, it all started with the dream of changing the world into a better place. And I thought it would have been more bohemian because I wanted the life of an urban planner and an architect. The thing was, in 2013, I was invited to be a guest co-driver at a hill climb event. It was my first time in a race car, and like most of you now, I have no idea what a hill climb event was. How many of you know what a hill climb event is? Hands up. One? Maybe two? Okay. So I had no idea. I just looked cool. It sounded cool. I wanted to take some pictures in the race suit. And while I was quietly sitting in the race car in the co-driver's seat, all tied up in the special race harness, I figured out that I wasn't afraid of what the driver next to me was doing. He was racing uphill for 3 or 4 kilometers, and I thought maybe I could do this sometime when I wasn't in architecture. So, fast forward, in 2014, I graduated urban planning because I'm also an urban planner and an architect. I followed both faculties in the Ion Mincu University in Bucharest, only to find out later that it's harder to practice what you preach, especially in a city like Bucharest. As everyone else was doing it, I started a blog, a travel and lifestyle blog, the general idea of bohemian life. But I also wrote, just for fun, 2 articles about my own car and my mother's car. And the feedback was great, so I thought I was onto something. I renamed my blog, my online journal, Emoticar, and started writing about cars from a different perspective. I was still in my 5th year of architecture when Collective happened. And I always speak about this moment because it changed my life forever and I don't want us to forget. I was supposed to be there in that night with my colleagues and professors to support our friend Mihai Alexandru and his band. Half an hour before leaving home, my best friend just called to ask for a rain check because she was just not in the mood for the concert. So I just went out into a different place. And whenever people say I'm lucky, I always think about that moment and I know that was my true luck. After that moment, I simply decided to bluntly follow my intuition and my passion for cars and my new crazy dream of becoming a rally driver, because how hard can it be? Especially because I'm a big believer in hard work, not so much in talent. I was always good in high school, in college. I had the best grade in my high school at the baccalaureate exam. I also finished with good grades in architecture, but I was looking for a new challenge, something that would represent me. So I did this financial mistake after testing the waters with the rented Dacia Logan. I bought my own second-hand Dacia Sandero in 2016 and invested more than 2,000 euros in order to make it ready to race in the National Rally Championship in 2017. Some may call it crazy, I call it passion. And my passion looks like this beauty over here. It's nicknamed Shandor. And it helped me do 2 full seasons in the National Rally Championship with the help of my mother, a former corporate manager in the pharma industry, who is now my team manager and who supported me no matter what during these years. What made me fall in love with motorsport, and especially with rallying, is the challenge of learning a different kind of focus you need during a race. So no matter how good you are at what you do, no matter if you're a good public speaker or not, how strong or confident you are in your real life or in your job, motorsport forces you to take a step back and learn from scratch what mental focus really is about. So things weren't so easy because in the last 3 years I didn't have to overcome only the lack of sponsorship and the lack of experience at the wheel of a race car, but I was also told I will never be a real rally driver. I was put head to head with the envy of other people because they told me to stop promoting myself and the idea of women in motorsport in Romania, because I've already made some people mad in Romanian motorsport. And anyhow, I don't have the skills to drive a race car. So this takes me to my next point, which is trust. How did I manage to dig deeper for this vital self-confidence, self-trust? And I found out this trust is only a ping pong between me and my team. It's not so much a skill as it is an asset you just share with your closest confidant. And the most important thing I have in motorsport is the people right next to me. It's my co-driver and my mother, who, whenever I feel unsure or down, they can give me back my self-trust. Or the other way around, when I feel like I'm the queen on the hill, they are there for an honest reality check, and they just put me in a normal way of life. In rallying, I learned that small victories are the most important. And in order to finish first, you must first finish. The biggest challenge in the first year was to be happy about finishing in the last place in a rally. And what can I say? I've been through a lot of ups and downs. And no matter how much you dream of something, a dream is made of these ups and downs. I learned that mistakes are part of the game, and it's impossible to grow without failing. And in this picture, I really failed badly in the gravel stage in the middle of a forest near Baku at a rally. It was my first big failure. But I also learned that success always comes when you are ready and not a moment sooner. This was just last May when at the Argeș Rally, me and Diana Hațegan, my co-driver, first stepped on the overall podium of Dacia Cup. We were the first Romanian female crew to step on the overall podium in all 13 years of Dacia Cup. And about this progress I did in the last 3 years, how do you visualize it? Because maybe you didn't imagine it just like this, but I love this metaphor about the idiot hill and valley of despair. It's not progress that it's so pleasing. When all things look good, they usually aren't. They're too good to be true. But when things look very wrong, like in the valley of despair, they seem impossible to overcome. Well, they're not. You can always find a way out and work your way out of any difficult situation. And in rallying, one of the most important lessons I've learned, another important lesson, is nothing is perfect. No matter how hard you plan it, no matter how organized you are, how prepared you are, something will go wrong. So you just have to take it as it is, improvise, and just get your job done, no matter how. This is why I'm so grateful for my co-driver, who is my better half in the race car, and she does much more than just reading pace notes. She's my therapist, my technician, my everything in the race car. And she knows just when to push and when to enjoy the moment, and I will show you how it feels from our race car.
Hai mai cu curaj că e la vale 70. dreapta 4 scurt în stânga 5, 4 scurt în stânga 5, nu așa tare că e pe scurt. Cristiana, gazul jos! Stânga 5, 70. Sunt cu stânga 5, 30. Așa, stânga 4, legat stânga 6, legat.
But we also have a good time sometimes, as you will see.
Stânga 4, 30, dreapta 5, 100, 100, dreapta 6,
Așa.
legat stânga 5, 20, dreapta 3
Stai,
minus.
dreapta, ăla e.
Da, stânga 5, 20, dreapta 3 minus. În stânga.
Okay, so the thing is, the pressure is so high, you just have to find the right person to connect with and to work together with them towards an objective. And there is no progress without humor, and there is no progress without struggle. So these are the two definitions of speed I've learned in rallying, because speed is relative to how little will you resist understanding these variables. So if you like numbers, I gathered some just for the fun of it. 60 degrees plus in the race car, 50 years since the last Romanian ladies crew competed in a foreign rally. We rewrote Romanian motorsport history last year when we became the first Romanian ladies crew to compete outside Romania in the last 50 years. In the last 6 months, I worked non-stop as a freelancer designer, web designer, and motorsport PR, just to raise the budget for our next adventure, which was actually last weekend. We made our debut in the European Rally Championship. We broke another glass ceiling by becoming the first ever Romanian ladies crew to compete in the European Rally Championship. And not only did we compete and finish the toughest rally in our lives, but we also scored the maximum points in the ERC Ladies Trophy, which is a very tough trophy to get because we are fighting with a lot of good lady drivers from all over the world. And I won't stop here because my next step will be to continue promoting the Femei Motorsport platform. It's the Women in Motorsport concept, the European concept built in Romania by me, through which I promote gender equality in motorsport and I promote all women involved in Romanian motorsport. Not only that, but we proved that motorsport has no barriers, no gender barriers, no geographical barriers or otherwise. So I will fight to build some strong partnerships to carry on my dream as a rally driver, and my dream and my objective actually is to be able to compete a full season in the European Rally Championship and bring home for the first time in Romania the ERC Ladies Trophy. I will continue to enjoy each and every small victory, each and every small moment like this one here. And I will remember to be brave and follow my dream no matter how hard it is. So I hope you will do the same. Thank you.